Namaste. I, JBN Dr. Ritu Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Gynae of Faculty of Homeopathic Science from Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur. Now, today's session is antenatal assessment of fetal well-being. So, let's start. Majority 80% of fetal death occur in antepartum period. The most important cause of details are chronic fetal hypoxia, that is called IUGR, means intrauterine growth retardation. Next, maternal complications like diabetes, hypertension, infection, etc. Third is the major cause of fetal death is fetal congenital malformation, and fourth is unexplained causes. So many causes of that fetal death occurring in antepartum period. There is progressive decline in maternal death all over the world. Currently, more interest is focused to evaluate the fetal health. The primary objective of antenatal fetal assessment is to avoid fetal death. As such, stimulantly, with good maternal care during pregnancy and labor, the fetal health in utero should be supervised with equal vigilance. Aims of antenatal fetal monitoring. So, what is aim? First is to ensure satisfactory growth and well-being of fetus throughout pregnancy. So, reduce any type of complications of fetus. Now, second is to screen out the high risk factor that affect the growth of fetus. Rationality of antenatal fetal test. Test must provide information superior to that of clinical evaluation. Test results should be helpful as management to improve perinatal outcome. Benefits of test with outweigh the postnatal risk and the cost. So, test must in the antenatal period. So, the measure that can be taken when a fetus is found compromised: bed rest, fetal surveillance, drug therapy, urgent delivery of the fetus, term or preterm, neonatal intensive care, that is NIC, and termination of pregnancy for fetal congenital anomalies. Now, clinical evaluation of fetal well-being at antenatal clinic. The initial antenatal examination should be carried out in the first trimester. At this examination, a record is kept of the size of uterus following bimanual examination or by ultrasonography. This is of immense help is estimating the correct duration of gestation in the last trimester. Fetal well-being depends on satisfactory maternal health throughout pregnancy. So, fetal health is depend on maternal health. After a thorough clinical examination of the mother, the investigation are initiated as early as possible. So, investigation also helpful for the maternal and fetal well-being. Subsequent visit. At every antenatal visit, the following clinical parameters are taken into account for assessment of satisfactory progress of gestation. So, first is maternal weight gain. During the second half of pregnancy, the average weight gain is 1 kg for a fortnight. Any excess weight gain may be due to excess fluid retention and could be the first sign of preeclampsia. If the weight gain is less than normal, changeably or even falling, one should be it took out for intrauterine growth restriction. Now, second is blood pressure. First is maternal weight gain and second is blood pressure. Initial recording of blood pressure prior to 12 week helps to differentiate a pre-extensive chronic hypertension from a pregnancy-induced hypertension developing later on. Hypertension pre-exciting or pregnancy-induced may impair the fetal growth. Now, third assessment for the size of uterus and height of the fundus. In early weeks, the size of uterus is of great value is confirming the calculated duration of gestation. The height of fundus should be documented at each visit. The top of uterine fundus is measured from the superior border of symphysis pubis, like bladder should be empty using a tape. After 24th week of pregnancy, the distance measured in centimeter normally correspond to the period of gestation in weeks. Fourth is clinical assessment. So what is clinical assessment? Clinical assessment of excess liquor should be recorded, as well as any scanty in liquor the last trimester. Evidence of scanty liquor may indicate placental insufficiency and the need of the undertaken of